Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about a topic called as functions of entrepreneur. Now before we discuss what are the various functions that an entrepreneur has to perform, let's have a quick recap of who is an entrepreneur. So to give an answer to the question who is an entrepreneur is a creator of wealth. He is a creator of wealth in the form of the revenue which he generates because of his activities which he undertake in the form of entrepreneurship. He is a creator of employment. An entrepreneur, while starting an entrepreneurial activity, not only generates an employment for himself, but at the same time employment for a lot of people who are directly or indirectly involved in his entrepreneurial activity. He is also a backbone of nation's progress. Any nation's progress depends upon its economic condition, and the economic condition to a great extent depends upon the various industrial activity that take place in that particular nation. An entrepreneur, by his activities or an entrepreneurial activities, tries to contribute a lot in making the economy of a particular nation quite stable and strong. He is also an organizer of factors of production. He, in turn, order to perform his activity, tries to organize various factors of production and put them into good possible usage and an optimum utilization. So we can say an entrepreneur is a creator of wealth, employment, backbone of nation's progress, as well as a very well organizer of factors of production. Now let's take a definition of who is an entrepreneur. Now to this we will first take the definition by Richard Cantillon. He says that an entrepreneur is the agent who buys means of production at certain prices in order to combine them into a product that he is going to sell at prices that are uncertain at the moment at which he commits himself to his cost. Now, to understand this definition, let us break it into various parts. The very first part of the definition says that he is an agent who buys means of production at certain prices. So, an entrepreneur definitely tries to organize various means of production by buying it at a particular rate so that another part says in order to combine them into a product that he is going to sell at prices, which by using these means of product he combines them into a product and tries to sell those products in the market that are uncertain, means which are not sure at the time when he undertakes the activity, when he commits himself in procuring these means of production or paying for these means of production. He is not confident whether he will be in a position to get this money back. Now the another simple definition is about from Peter F. Drucker. He says that an entrepreneur is one who always searches for changes, responds to it, and exploits it as an opportunity. That means an individual is an entrepreneur if he can look for various new changes or the changes that can be brought into the society in the form of his activity and exploit those opportunity to the fullest possible extent and thus brings the changes. Now let's see what are the various functions that an entrepreneur performs. The very first function of an entrepreneur is innovation. Now innovation means bringing something new, something creative. An entrepreneur is an innovator because he can perform two type of activities in innovation. First, either he can do something new or he can contribute by doing new things, or second, he can do existing things in a new and a creative way. So an entrepreneur who performs a function of an innovator has to do two things. First, either he has to bring new things as his innovation, or he should bring a new method or a new way of doing the existing things. Another function of an entrepreneur is that he should be a proper planner and an organizer. He has to perform a function of planning and organizing. There may be lot of ideas in his mind, but he need to have a proper planning and accordingly organize the things so that he can convert his ideas into reality. So that is why we say that an entrepreneur has to plan and organize so that he can convert his ideas into reality, for which he need to do lot of scanning and do selection of the best possible idea, which is more and more productive, which is more and more positive. He need to definitely estimate the resources which will be required, which forms a part of organizing. He also has to assemble and coordinate the various factors of production as a part of organizing activity. An entrepreneur may have, or an individual may have, number of ideas in his mind, but what if there is no proper planning? So definitely he'll not be in a position to organize or assemble things properly, which can help him in realizing his ideas. Next important function is that he needs to be, or he is rather, a risk taking and uncertainty bearing capacity. And business or in venture which an entrepreneur performs is full of uncertainty. The future in which or for which he is working is uncertain, and hence entrepreneur has to be ready to take that risk, because uncertainty and risk are the two sides of a coin, right? The future, which is unknown, which is uncertain, definitely can bring lot of risk. He need to be ready for profit as well as losses. Another function which an entrepreneur needs to perform is of taking or good business decisions. He need to take business decisions in the interest of his dreams or his ideas getting realized. An entrepreneur, once done with the planning or while doing a planning, also has to have a lot of decision. Every day is a new challenge for him. So therefore, an entrepreneur need to have an ability to take competent decision which are quick. He should be in a position to take the right decision at right time. He should have the capacity to foresee the future and then take the corrective decisions. He Another function which an entrepreneur need to perform is about the financial management. Finance, which is a crux of any activity, needs to be managed properly, because the success or a failure of a particular venture depends to a great extent upon how the finances are being managed. Therefore, we say that finance is one of the important requirement for starting any venture, and an entrepreneur needs to be very good at handling these finances, because if not properly managed, then probably the entrepreneurial activity may convert itself into a huge loss, a huge setback. An entrepreneur definitely need to have provisions for capital whereby he can have it through secured sources. He need to arrange this capital at a lower possible rate of interest, because this will help him in having his capital standing in a better position. Another important function of an entrepreneur is that he needs to be very good in marketing of the product. Now, an entrepreneur, by starting up his venture, can convert the means of production into products. But what is the point if he is not proper or efficient enough in marketing of those products? So, therefore, marketing of product is also one of the important functions of entrepreneur. An entrepreneur has to, for this reason, explore the market to so that he can sell his products properly. He need to have a look of what the consumer's desires are, what are the taste which the consumers are having and accordingly develop the product. He should also work on publicity of product. Again, further, he also need to work on the upgradation of the product quality and the processes, because the consumer's behavior changes. So there has to be a constant upgradation of the product quality and process. Another important function which an entrepreneur needs to perform is about fulfilling his social obligation. Social obligation means his responsibility towards the society or towards the people of society. A place where he is starting his business activity, he should foresee or he should look into that he performs his social responsibility properly. He should spend a part of his profits towards civic and other facilities. He should see to it that the e-waste is properly or the waste from the factory is properly discarded. There is no pollution which is created because of his activity. He should also work on the ecological balance. He should take utmost care in maintaining these ecological balance. So, an entrepreneur has to perform various functions, and while performing these functions, an entrepreneur not only has his own development but also contribute in the development of a nation. So this will all about the various functions that an entrepreneur has to perform. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Till then, do like, subscribe to my YouTube channel.